Hey everyone, D Square here with another Uncanny X-Men comic review. Today we're going to do a short spoiler-free review and then story breakdown of Uncanny X-Men number 17, We Have Always Been, Part 1. You heard me right. This is actually the start of a new story arc, so that means our last issue, Part 6, was the last of that story arc. I didn't think it would be, because it didn't seem like much of a story arc to me. I mean, yeah, we took down the Mutant Liberation Front, we gained Hope and Dark Beast and Quanon as prisoners. The other Mutant Liberation Fronts were given off to Captain America to take them away. And we did defeat the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants with the mutant clone Joseph. Juggernaut joins the team, and then we learn Rain Sinclair, otherwise known as Wolfbane, dies. Doesn't seem like much of a story arc to me. It also ended with the X-Men not being led by Cyclops and Wolverine, but rather it is now a democracy. So I must say that I am not completely displeased with that last story arc, but I definitely thought it was going to turn out differently. I thought we were going to see a new era of the X-Men with Cyclops at the lead, kind of getting back to normal, trying to rebuild the ranks. But it seems, unfortunately, we're in crisis mode, and we're just not going to get that. So here we are with a new story arc that unfortunately starts with the death of Rain Sinclair, one of the original New Mutants, otherwise known as Wolfbane. This issue goes through her funeral, and you see some reactions there. You also see how she dies in graphic detail. I mean, not that it's gory or anything like that, but you get to see the event. And then it goes on to drop a pretty big bomb that alludes to our maybe next villain, or next item that should be on the X-Men's list. So it is a controversial issue, which I will be talking about in another video here very soon. So I don't want to really touch base on that here. So I think, though, that when dealing with the death of a major character, it's always going to make for an intriguing issue, and so certainly this is it. An emotionally charged issue, unfortunate circumstance to say the least. But I definitely think for anyone that's following the X-Men right now, you should definitely pick this up if it's still available, or find it in some way, other shape or form. But of course, I will break it down for you here today. And so here we go. I will now go ahead and break down the story of Uncanny X-Men number 17. Hope you all enjoy. Uncanny X-Men issue 17. We Have Always Been, Part 1. With most of their teammates presumed dead after a cataclysmic battle, Cyclops and Wolverine have banded together as the last X-Men with Magic, Mirage, Karma, Havoc, Multiple Man, Chamber, Hope Summers, and Banshee. Together they hunt down threats to mutant kind, including policing their own. Joseph, Magneto's younger clone, gathered former Brotherhood of Evil Mutant members Pyro, Avalanche, Toad, Random, and Juggernaut to attack a U.S. Air Force base in Transia. The X-Men intervened and were ready to take Joseph into custody when Quanon, a telekinetic ninja with tenuous ties to the X-Men, executed him. Before the X-Men could deal with their newest addition, Mirage suffered a massive shock caused by the death of their former teammate, Wolfsbane. This issue starts with Wolverine drinking at the bar and Cyclops approaching him. He tells him that Liliana is going to take them to the service in a half hour, and that he needs to get dressed. Wolverine explains to Cyclops that he doesn't mourn the same way he does. Regardless, we then see Logan starting to get ready for the funeral. Jamie Madrox, otherwise known as the Multiple Man, comes up to his room and hands him a file. It's the police report from the incident that took Rain's life. What's worse, Jamie informs Logan that they aren't going to prosecute them. They aren't going to do anything to the people that killed Rain Sinclair. This, of course, causes Logan to storm off Wolverine releases Quanon out of the holding cell, but not before Havoc can protest. Wolverine, of course, gets his wish. We then see the funeral for Reign. X-Men such as Cyclops, Liliana, and Jamie Madrox give heartfelt eulogies. As the funeral happens, Quanon and Wolverine arrive at the culprit's location. Wolverine and Quanon pop into their living room, and Wolverine asks Quanon to point out the ones responsible for Reign's death. She does so. Wolverine tells everyone else to get out. Then Wolverine tells Quanon to show him. She says that it was them and that Wolverine does not want to see this. But Wolverine objects and says that he needs to see it, so she complies. We then see a psychic vision of Reign sitting at a park bench drinking her coffee. She is approached by 3 young men. One of them starts to chit-chat, which quickly turns into flirting with Reign. She politely refuses, but this angers the man. He continues to bug Reign until she has had enough and angrily yells at him. In doing so, fur starts to grow on her face a little bit. She apologizes to this man, but he is embarrassed that he was hitting on a mutie. His friends are even making fun of him. In his anger, he throws Reign down. Instinctively, Reign pops up in her mutant form and slashes at the man's face and takes his ear. She reverts back to human form and explains that she did not mean to do that and begs them to leave her alone. They do not listen, and they all start to attack her. Instead of transitioning back and properly defending herself, she stays in human form while the 4 men beat her to death. We cut back to Wolverine, who is pissed and has murderous intent. He throws a duffel bag full of weapons at the boys and says that he has but one request. The 4 men tell him that they will do whatever he wants. Wolverine tells them to fight back. Before Wolverine can attack, ONE soldiers burst into the house. Wolverine and Quanon engage the soldiers. Wolverine returns to the X-Men's hideout with bullet holes in his clothes. Cyclops immediately confronts him and orders him gone, but Wolverine reminds him that he isn't a leader anymore. In front of everyone, Wolverine scolds Cyclops about not telling the rest of the X-Men that they are being led to their death. He scolds him for not telling him what Blindfold said about the fate of the mutants before she killed herself. The argument culminates in a fistfight between Cyclops and Wolverine. Cain Marko the Juggernaut separates them and asks them if they would rather fight than to deal with the likes of Mr. Sinister, Black Tom, the Marauders, or Strife. Cain then asks, "Why isn't Emma Frost on your list?" The rest of the X-Men look at Cain quizzically. They have no clue what he is talking about. Cyclops simply asks the Juggernaut, "Who the hell is Emma Frost?" Well, that is a twist indeed. I hope you join me next time to find out what is going on this new story arc. Please, if you've enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notifications to make sure you never miss an upload. And it would greatly help me if you could share this on social media and let other people know that you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time